Test. All right, welcome everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? I am back, and we're going to cover the new SpaceX patch 0.052 and talk about the plot sale. I know some of you have already picked up your plots, and yeah, got a lot of good stuff tonight. So, as you can see, we are in the newly renovated space station. Well, I got some feedback going here. Let's see. All right. All right. So let's take a look at some of the new things that have gone into effect. Hey, thank you for that follow. Now, as you can see, the visual, the new space station looks awesome. I'll show you the outside as soon as we leave here. But obviously, you can tell from the inside, they've done a lot of work on some of the models and graphics. So purely cosmetic, but really makes the game look a lot better. So glad we did that. The other huge thing for this update, as you can now see, the space shuttle can now carry 1,000 meters cubed of cargo. It doubles the capacity of the previous ship. Well, same ship, but they doubled the capacity, which is great. It will make mining go a lot faster. But not only did they double the capacity of the ship itself, but they doubled the rate at which you mine as well. So whether you're mining an asteroid or you're mining a planet, if you land on it, your mining rate has doubled. So basically, the same time it took you to fill up your ship before 500, you'll now get 1,000 instead. So it basically doubles the speed of everything. They were watching the metrics of the game a lot and listening to the players' feedback. Obviously, it was taking a lot of time to get those resources to build even your first, power plants, and then obviously the mining platform. So they doubled the rate, and that should make it a lot easier for you guys to get all those resources you need in a much faster time. Um, kind of another point on that, they've extended. I know we've already talked about this in the last patch, but they extended the period you have to build your mining platform, or I'm sorry, to build your power station for 30 days. So before, and it still is, you have 30 days after you lease a plot to build your power plant. If you don't, your lease expires automatically. However, for this, since they're working on all the mining times and how fast everything's going to be, they've extended everyone's 30 days. So if you haven't built your power plant yet, don't worry about it. You have an extra 30 days. Now, if you purposely did not build your power plant because you wanted your lease to expire so you could get it on a different planet, shoot me a DM in Discord, and I'll get that changed for you so we can clear that out. You can lease on a different planet if you still want to do that. But let me know, because they automatically renewed everyone's 30 days. So if you're waiting for yours to expire, yeah, let me know and we can get that worked out for you so you can pick your lease on a different planet if you want that. So with that, let's take a look. Another really great thing they added here is if you go into the station cargo, right? you now have a box where you can input the amount of resources. There's still the wheel here, obviously, but you can now slide, instead of just sliding, you can now manually input the amount you want. Now, I will say that we did find one bug with this so far. If you put in 1,000 to get the exact amount and upload, it only uploads one to your ship. So don't try to do 1,000, right? You can do, if you're in a hurry, do 999, or if you want to go the extra distance, 999.999, upload, and then you'll get pretty much near the full 1,000. There's just a bug right now where if you put in 1,000, it'll only do one. So just make a note of that. They are working on that. But for now, 999.999, and you'll be golden. So let's unload this. And let's see, before we get into the plot sale and all of that, I want to make sure we cover all of the new features. So let me see here. Cargo capacity and mining speed, we talked about that. Oh, a note on that. Well, a couple notes actually. So the speed that you mine resources has doubled from asteroids and planets. This also includes the plats you get. So you'll get double the amount of plats when you're mining in your ship on asteroids and planets as well. So that's pretty awesome. A thing to note: the mining platforms, they remain unchanged, right? They didn't increase the speed of the mining platforms. Those are still the same rates as you were getting before. It's only the ship mining that increased. Another thing to note right now is mining platforms do not generate plats for you. Right now, it's only your ship that you'll mine the plats. So you have to be on the asteroid, or if you land on a planet and you're mining it with your ship, that will generate plats for you. But the passive auto miners do not generate plats at this time. They are watching that, and they're going to see if they may add some mining of plats to the auto miners, but currently it's only the manual mode, so your auto miners won't generate plats for you. All right. Another thing. Well, let's undock here. Pretty cool. Another thing to note. So to warp anywhere, if you probably already noticed, if you try to warp right away, you can't. So in order to warp, you have to move your engine down to 0. So you have to warp from 0, which yeah, that's something added. And here, let's look at this. This is the new model of the space station that they added. Looks really awesome. Much better. Obviously, they're spending a lot of time making, not only fixing all the bugs and listening to you guys, but making the game look really pretty. I really do like the look of this space station. Obviously, a big step forward for that. All right, so let's go. Let's go to plots. We'll go. All right. Let's land on Epos. All right, and you can see here they increased the cargo capacity of the plots now to 80,000 meters cubed. All right, and this allows you to build all the buildings now that you need. Before there was you couldn't, when it was 52, you couldn't build the main base. Now 80,000 gives you enough to build all the first 3 buildings, or 4 buildings. You can, and you now have enough capacity to build your main base, which then once you build your main base, this cargo capacity will go to 3 million. All right. So this 80,000 limit is where it's going to be set permanently until you build your main base. and that's what will increase your cargo capacity. But this 80,000 limit right now, it gives you enough room to build the power plant. You're either mining, the mini miner or the mining platform. You can build the refinery with it, and then you can build your main base, which was the problem in the previous patch. You couldn't build the main base yet. Not that anyone had gotten there yet, but some people are getting close. So now you are able to build that main base with the 80,000. You can bring all your cargo for the main base and start constructing it. Once you finish that main base, your cargo capacity on that plot will go to 3 million. So you have plenty of space. You won't have to worry about anything. All right. So let's take off here. And this is a rented plot here, a leased plot. I have the power plant and the auto miner built on it. So let's take a look at those. And this we'll kind of get into the plot purchases as well that just opened up. So you go to my plots. This is the one I've leased on this server. And it has an auto miner built on it, right? So you start mining, stop mining, and this is the auto miner. It generated nearly 900 in the time. It's just been a short time since I had it going. But that's how the auto miner works. You come to your plots, and for your lease, once you get either the mini miner or the mining platform built, you'll be able to come here and start mining, and then you'll see these gauges go up, and that means it's mining. One thing to note is this number won't increase, as it goes. You basically have to either click stop mining, and then it shows up on your plot. So it won't go to it doesn't tick up like it does when you're mining from your ship. All right. So I think we covered all the big changes of the patch. Let's see, doubling. Oh, yeah. Let's land here again. So obviously, well, actually, let's take off and we'll go to let's do this one, and I'll show you, because they also updated the graphics of not only the space station, but of all the buildings on the plot. So let's take a look at those. All right, so we'll land here. All right, so this is what a completed base looks like. If you land on any of the free to mine planets, you'll basically see what all of the whole base looks like after you finish yours. This will look similar. Here you can see this behind. Here is the power plant right there. You can barely see it. This is the mining platform over here, and I don't know honestly what these other buildings are because I don't have them built yet. I assume maybe this is the main base here. Obviously one of these is a factory, but I'm honestly not positive on which is which at this point because I haven't constructed them. But this is what the main base kind of looks like once you get, or your whole base looks like once you have everything built. And so they've updated these graphics as well. Looks a lot better, really cool. I like the look of them. So yeah, this, if you want to see what your base will look like completed, come to one of the free to mine planets, and it has everything already built there. So now that we covered all of the changes that they've done some things in the background, fixed some bugs. I believe they've fixed the warping bug that a lot of people were having, so, and all the hanging bugs, so I don't believe those are in the game anymore. Obviously any bugs you find, please post them in the bug section in Discord, but I believe they've worked all those out. So some of the behind the scenes bugs and coding, they've also done a lot behind the scenes that you don't you won't ever see. But it should help the game run better and all of that. So now, now that we've covered all the changes and fixes and visual things, let's talk about the SpaceX pre-alpha plot sale. All right. And I know a few of you at least have already gotten your purchase plot. It can add a lot to the game, help you get your base built up a lot faster, get you to Sector 1 faster. But let's look first at how to do that. So basically, you'll go through any planet you want, wherever you want a lease. You can fly to. All right, let's say you want Elmyrna. You fly to Elmyrna and do a scan. All right, so now there's a incent code for you guys if you do the incent thing. But so you scan whatever planet you want to buy your plot on. All right. So let's get this going. Bear with me here for a second, guys. So you'll basically fly to whatever plot you want. And you can see here, owner, these are all. Oh, well, you can't get it on Elmyrna, right? Because this is one of the free to mine planets. So you can't pick Elmyrna. But you can take some of the other planets. Basically, there's 12 planets that you can purchase from. 2 of them, Data and Uni, are only purchase plots, so you can't lease a plot on those planets. The other 10, they have both leased and purchasable plots. So take a look. I know Jaye has posted a really nice little visual in, I believe it's in the strategy section on Discord, where he highlights, let me see if I can find it. He basically highlights the best pairs of planets in 3 trios of planets that have the best coverage of resources for those planets. So say you have your let me see where it is. I can pull it up here. Here it is. Okay. All right. So let me show you this. So he has highlighted here. You can zoom in. Hopefully you guys can see that. Say you have your plot on your leased plot on Akoli, right? It'll show you the best duo planet if you get a pair. If you're going to buy one plot, which is the best to have most coverage of resources with those 2 plots that you own. Neo, thank you for the lemon. All right, as I was saying, so take a look at this. I believe it's still posted in the Discord channel under strategy. Otherwise, talk to Jaye. He's pretty active in the Discord, and I'm sure he can send you a picture or a copy of this. But you basically look where your plot is, your lease plot, and then find a a good spot if you're going to purchase a plot. So here's two here, and then here's a triple combo. If you're going to buy two plots, you can look at what two pair up with your lease, right? So uni, epos, data, acoli, epos, uni. So you can see which coverage you'll have. Right. So I am going to buy a plot on stream with you guys right now. All right. And so let's do this. I've decided that I want to buy a plot on Epos. So we're gonna fly to Epos. All right, look at that pretty planet. Got bright green glowing there. So to buy a plot, you fly to the planet you want, scan it. Wait for it to scan. All right, and so you can see all the plot IDs here. These ones, it'll say rent. So these are the rentable plots. You can't purchase those. There's two different sections. There's rented plots and there's purchase plots. So you're not going to be able to purchase any of the rented plots. So you got to scroll. One thing to note here. So they have pages, but also make sure they have a scroll bar too, which is a little bit confusing, to be perfectly honest. But you can scroll down. I know some people were missing the purchase plots. They couldn't find them on the planet because they were going through the pages like this and only seeing the first, 6 or 7 here. But make sure you're going and you have this scroll bar here. All right, so here's one that you can buy. Right, here's this one's rent. This one's a purchase. All right, so we're on Epos, and then you can go through. These are all purchasable here, and you can find whichever ones, and then it looks like these red ones are either bought already or they aren't open for sale yet. There's 40 plots, or roughly 40 plots opened on the 10 planets that have both renting and purchasing, and then there's 60 plots open to buy on the purchase only plans, which are uni and data. So come here, find a purchasable plot, and you can pick whatever number suits your fancy. All right. I think I like number. What do we want? All right, I'm going to get EPOS 3636. All right, so you click that and then click buy. And it will pop up a window in your browser, right? And you want to make sure, or you got to connect your MetaMask. All right, so we're going to connect your MetaMask to the SpaceX site. Perfect. And then once you have it connected, you just click this here, buy plot 3636. Obviously yours will say whatever number you picked. And if you decide to cancel it or you don't buy it, it says right here your order will expire in 1 hour. So it'll basically reserves it for 1 hour. And if you don't purchase it or it cancels, it will go back onto the market in an hour. But this is the one I want, EPOS 3636. So we're going to continue buy plot. And here it is. All right. 875. And then you can see the gas fee is only $1. They've kept the gas fees, even with ETH, the gas fees are extremely low. So you don't have to worry about these $100, $200 gas fees that you sometimes pay with the other stuff. The plot gas fees for purchase, extremely low, which is extremely awesome. Obviously, no one likes paying, a quarter of what something costs in gas fee. So that's awesome. So let's do this purchase, confirm. And you'll see payment successful from your ETH address. All right. So that's purchased, and that's how it goes. All right. Pretty simple, and it takes a couple of minutes here, and you should be able to go back into the game, and it'll show up under my plots. So let's make sure activity, it's still pending. Let's open this up and take a look on Etherscan here. It takes about 10 transactions before it confirms. So we'll keep going here. It should only take a couple minutes. But this will go, like I said, in a couple minutes, and then you can go back into my plots and it should show up there. Here saying 1 to 4 minutes. So we'll just wait here, do a little dance. So yeah, it may make some noise. Let me know. Have you guys bought a plot already? Are you planning to buy a plot? What planets are you liking? Obviously, I do suggest take a look at Jay's little sheet to look at where your lease plot is and what planet you might want to buy if you're going to buy more than one plot. Um, it's a really nice little resource he added there. I figured out what plots I wanted already, but that helped me confirm that yep, this looks like a good plan. One Unity, he bought 2 already. Very nice. Yeah, I know a couple people. I don't know the exact number of sold plots, but I believe it's over 10 at least now. That was last night that I checked. Well, I guess it would have been, just a couple hours after the sale went live. So I know there's at least 10. It might be way more. Um, the devs aren't planning on them weren't planning on them selling out immediately. It's like some of the sales for some games are pretty crazy. Oh, it looks like it went through. All right, so sale went through. It confirmed. So let's check and see. Exit my plots. All right, it has not shown up yet. Okay, so here it is successful now. 3 block confirmations. They said it takes about 10 confirmations before it'll show up. So let's give it a little bit longer. But then once it's confirmed, it should eventually just show up in your plots. My plots, EPOS. Oh, so there it is, 3636. There's my purchase plot. Now, the purchase plots come automatically with the built-in auto miner, right? So you can land on it, right? But obviously, there's nothing built there yet, which for a lease plot, you can't do anything with it until you build your power plant and one of the mining, either mini miner or mining platform. But the really awesome thing, and probably the number one reason you want to buy a purchase plot, I mean, aside from the rarity, aside from the potential investment and building up the game and becoming more and more valuable, is it'll start you off and you can start mining immediately. Has a built-in auto miner that is comparable, I think is actually a little faster even than the mining platform. All right. If the mining platform is, say the mining platform mines at about 8,000 resources, the auto miner from the purchase plot is about 10 or something like that. I don't know the exact numbers, and it does vary based on what planet and what resources are there. But the auto miner on purchase plots are slightly bit faster than the mining platform. And then if you or when you put a mining platform on your purchase plot, it stacks, right? So you'll be mining even faster, getting even more resources than when you do, than when you just have the mining platform. So I have been suggesting to everyone, if you are going to purchase a plot, which I mean, I think it will be a great investment. You know, um, don't quote me on that because you never know how things go with the market. But I do believe these are going to escalate in value. And if you like the game, I think it's worth the investment. But completely up to you. But I would suggest if you are going to purchase a plot, look at your lease, kind of figure out which ones complement. Because my suggestion would be put a power plant and a mining platform on your leased plot, and then start building up your purchase plot, right? Because all the buildings you build on your purchase plot, you'll keep. But you want to use that mining platform on your leased plot so you can start generating those resources and you don't have to mine those by hand. You'll have that auto miner going on your leased plot. You can move all the resources over to your purchased one and do it that way. So that's what I would suggest. If you're going to buy one, use that leased plot just to generate resources for you, and then start building up your purchase plot. So those of you that were worried about, oh, I already built my platform on my lease plot, don't be, because that's really what you want to do. You want to have both auto miners running on your purchase plot and your lease plot, so you get all those resources and you'll help you build your base and get into Sector 1 even faster. Obviously, the more plots you buy, the more resources you'll have covered in the auto miners, and you won't have to do as much manual mining, flying to asteroids, landing on planets, and mining that way, because your auto miners will generate those for you. So the more plots you buy, the easier it will be to advance into Sector 1. Obviously, you can do it just by grinding. If you don't want to buy a purchase plot, obviously that's fine. You don't have to. And you will be able to advance. That's one nice thing that with this patch, they increased the cargo size obviously to 1,000, which makes it way easier to transport resources back and forth. Not only that, they increased the mining rate. So if you're grinding it out, yes, it will take longer without buying a plot, but they just increased the mining rate double. So you'll be able to get there twice as fast as you would have previously, which is really great. I think it was a very nice addition, and it made things a lot easier. So keep that in mind. Let's see, what haven't we covered? So I'll go over all the benefits, or at least what I could see from the purchase plots. Let me pull this up here. Where is here it is. All right. So purchase plots right now, they range from $750 to $1,000, depending on which planet you are looking for a plot on. And those pricing, the devs have decided on those prices based on the resources available from those planets, as well as, they told me, as well as the location of the planets, how far they are from the main hub, from what I understand. I don't know how big of a factor that's going to be, because right now obviously warp is free, but eventually warp is not going to be free, right? You're going to have to pay plots to warp anywhere, and the fuel, which is always at 100% in your ship when you're just flying normally without warp, eventually this fuel is going to start ticking down and you have to craft your own fuel. um, so obviously distance is going to make a difference in the game, probably maybe coming into alpha. I'm not sure when they're going to change that, but the distance of the planets from the main hub is going to have a factor, which is why they've decided on the pricing that they did. That's about all I know about that. There were different types of resources, and the proximity for the travel is kind of the main reasons they chose on the pricing they did. And they wanted to have a range, so not all of them are 1,000. So they have a nice little range for you to decide. That being said, just because Bindu is $1,000 doesn't necessarily mean it's the best planet for you, right? Because if you have your leased plot that has all the same resources as Bindu, it would not make sense for you to buy a plot on Bindu and then you have to mine, you have double the resources or very similar resources from your lease plot and the plot on Bindu, right? So you want to find a plot on a planet that complements what your lease plot is. If you have 7 resources here and then you find a plot somewhere else that only has one the same, and you'll have 6 different new types of resources there, it's going to benefit you in game a lot more than if you buy a plot on Bindu just because it's the most expensive and it shares 4 different resources with your lease plot. So keep that in mind. Just because it's the most expensive doesn't necessarily mean it's the best choice for you. Um, and another thing to note, these prices, what they are right now, $750 to $1,000, they are at minimum 15% discounted from what they will be during the official alpha sale when they are putting the rest of the plots up for sale, right? They wanted to give the pre-alpha explorers the benefit, right? So they will increase in value if you don't purchase by alpha, which is I believe they're saying about 2 months till the alpha release of the game. So for this, 2 months or until the plots are sold out, you're getting a 15%, at least 15% discount on the prices of those plots. So, well, okay. While I'm talking here, I'm gonna fly to an asteroid field and start mining. See if I can find something good. I need some calcium, so we'll see what's there. But all right. So now that we've talked about the pricing and the plots, we're gonna go. Do I even want to buy a plot? Is it really worth it? Well, I mean that's something only you can decide. If you have a nice stash of ETH sitting, maybe it's probably worth getting. I do believe the investment's going to grow, but that's something only you can decide. Don't break the bank and spend your last penny to get a plot. But if you can afford it, by all means. So let's cover. There's 10 main reasons I want to share. I think the plots, what are reasons to purchase the plot? So first one, there's only ever going to be 3,500 plots to own in the home system. That's it. 3,500. And so once those are sold, there will never be more purchase plots in the home system. In Sector 1, if you get a planet, those can have plots on it. But in the home sector, Only 3,500 purchase plots. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, and then this is probably, at least at the beginning, the biggest reason, is it comes with the auto miner, like I was talking about before. You don't have to build any buildings on it. As soon as you purchase it, you can start it mining, and it's going to start generating resources for you. And it's roughly 10,000 a day, but don't quote me on that because they do fluctuate a little bit. But it is slightly faster than the mining platform. And it does stack with a mining platform once you build the mining platform on it. All right. So let's see, where is it? Oh, there's no calcium. Where's the calcium? Let's go a little bit further. All right. So number 3 reason to purchase a plot. Your purchase plots will never reset. All right. So any buildings you build on it, they're there permanently. And unlike the leased plots that clear after 6 months, they'll never clear. They're always going to be there. You're always going to have them to use. So all the time you spend into building the buildings and gathering the resources, it doesn't go to waste and get erased. All right. Number 4, you will be able to rent your plots to future players. Right. This isn't implemented yet, and it's planned to be put in after sometime after the alpha release. But you will eventually be able to rent these plots that you purchase to other players in game for plats, I believe. I don't know if they're going to allow you to rent it for crypto, but I believe it will be all for plats. And you will be able to set your terms on the length of lease and all that different type of stuff. So you will get some money, be able to generate some money back on it. Next one. This is a cool feature. If you buy, any plot you rent out to another player, if they build a building on it, say you don't have your whole base constructed, right? And you rent out the plot and you only have the mining platform on there, let's say. Any buildings that they build on your plot, you keep after their lease expires. So you could have someone rent it out to them and they build up the whole base for you and then, blast off to Sector 1. And your plot now has a fully constructed base you can rent out for hire to the next player that you want to rent, or use it yourself if you're coming back in some of the next acts, or basically the next portions of the game that they decide to release. Okay, so here's a question. Unity. So we lose any building on a rented plot. Is there an option to pay rental fee again for another term? Unity. No. Okay, so yes, you will lose any buildings that you put on your leased plot. So after 6 months, the lease expires and basically the plot is wiped and put back onto the market. There is no plans to have a renewal option on your lease. And this is because there's only a limited amount of even leased plots. So they are planning to have those available. They want those available for new people coming into the game. So yeah, you won't have the option to renew your lease. Once the lease is over, 6 months, it's wiped and put back onto the market for other players. And that's another big reason to get at least one purchase plot, is because anything you build stays there permanently. If you don't have the time to play, come back 3 months later, you haven't got anywhere, the couple buildings, you're not going to be that far. You can keep building it up at your own pace or whatever. Whereas if you were on a lease plot and you did that, you may not make your 6-month timeline. That being said, the devs do have it planned out. So if you're playing at a fair pace, you will get to Sector 1 in 6 months. It's not like they're trying to, make you play 24 hours a day to get to Sector 1 within that 6 months. If you play at a reasonable pace, and you're mining time to time, you will get to Sector 1 within 6 months, and you don't have to worry about that because the goal is to be into Sector 1 and to find a planet and start building up your base again there once you're in Sector 1, and you can discover your own planets and things like that. And those planets will be NFTs as well. Um, so let's continue with the reasons to purchase a plot. So um, let's see here. Number 6, you can transfer your mined home system resources to further sectors 1 and 2 via the optional cargo ship. So this is something they just added from feedback from you guys in the last couple weeks, is the optional cargo ship. So you're going to be able to take resources from your home system sector and your plots and transport them to at least Sector 1 and 2. So when you get into Sector 1, you find your planet. If you discover a common planet, that may only have 5 resources on it. So you need all those other resources to build up your base on that planet. And so having your purchase plot allows you to keep that and transport resources via the cargo ship from your purchase plot and things you stored up on your purchase plot to the Sector 1 and build up your ship there. You can still do this with the lease plot, right? So you can transfer resources from your lease plot to Sector 1 as well. However, once your 6 months runs out, that's it. You're in Sector 1 and you have to find all your resources in Sector 1. And a notable thing is resources are going to be much harder to find and much more scarce in the further sectors as you get further and further out from the home system. So right now, you have free to mine planets that have nearly every